Alright guys, we are down to our last two pieces of gear in this series. Sticking with winter camping gear. You know, gear that makes all the difference or increases the level of comfort. So this one we're going to do, this one is a very important and sometimes necessary purchase. So this is a C2 Summit Thermalite reactor. It's a bag liner. So this is an addition to a sleeping bag. So you know how a lot of people who do camping, whether it's summer, winter, spring, fall, whatever, they have different temperature rated sleeping bags. Instead of having to buy the whole bag, this is an addition to any sleeping bag that will add 15 degrees of heat. 15 degrees Celsius of heat. So a sleeping bag that is meant for 0 degrees, if you happen to be going out at -7, this -15 degree addition would be perfect to make your 0 degree sleeping bag acceptable to probably -7. Now, when you add 15 degrees, you should think, or you might think that, hey, I should be able to go to -15. Yeah, if I had a -15 degree sleeping bag, that's its max. That means you need to be producing the right heat. You need to have just eaten before you went to bed so that you can be burning energy and keeping that sleeping bag warm. I don't trust any sleeping bag to its full temperature. I never have and I never will. So if the sleeping bag says it's good to -40, you can go out in -40, but you better have this in your back pocket just in case. So this is what the liner looks like. Now this is not a mummy style, but it is kind of tapered toward the end. But here's the entrance. It has a draw cord, a little drawstring here, so you can tighten it over yourself. But basically, it is just a big liner. It's just something you stick yourself into, and then you crawl into your sleeping bag with this. You slide yourself into your current sleeping bag, and this adds a layer of heat because of its R value. It is 100% polyester, made in China. Cold, hand, or machine wash. Do not bleach, tumble dry, cool, no iron. I've used this. I've used this a couple times, and it wasn't cause I didn't have the right sleeping bag. It was because I was bone chilled. I was hungry. I didn't eat enough. I wasn't producing the heat. My feet were just cold. It was that damp cold outside, and we were not using my propane heater. So I did not have consistent heat inside the tent. We were burning wood at the time, and every 45 minutes the heat would just drop. Anyways, I used this, and I mean, it saved my butt. It was so comfortable in there. It was so warm that I didn't care that stalagmites were forming over the hood of my sleeping bag because it was so cold in there, because I was warm. And you just stuff it back in its sack and drawstring it up. This is one of those survival pieces of gear that is worth it. It is very expensive though. This was $129.99. 129 bucks when I bought it. I'm not sure what they're selling for nowadays. But it was like 130 bucks when I bought it. But again, this is one of those pieces of gear that opens you up to the freedom of going camping in cold, extreme cold temperatures. And without this, like, this gives you peace of mind. Even just having it in your backpack in case you need it gives you the peace of mind that you can go and do this, because you know what? If it gets 10 degrees colder than it was supposed to, well, you've got that covered. You're okay. Would I buy this again if I wrecked it or destroyed it or it became ineffective because of overuse? Absolutely, 100%. I would drop down the 130 bucks again tomorrow. No problem. This opens you up to longer expeditions, further, deeper travel, more remote travel. This is like a first aid kit. It's something you need to have on you all the time. And without it, you feel that, you know, you got that little voice in the back of your head saying, you know, if anything else goes wrong, or if this trip goes sideways, or if the temperature drastically drops, or if I can't get my truck started at the end of this trip, what am I going to do? Because I've been cold. This gives you that peace of mind. So for the 130 bucks, peace of mind, extra 15 degrees Celsius of cold protection will make my -40 sleeping bag good to -55, which means it's definitely good for consistently several days at -40. Yes, worth every penny. Thermalite, Sea to Summit Thermalite reactor. There's a ton of these out there, but I've only used this one. I've had no need to try another one. Now, when I did do some looking on these before I came out, just to see what kind of information I could give you guys on this, I found a ton online. I found a ton on Amazon. I found a ton at Cabela's and a ton at Canadian Tire, and they were $30. I'm sorry, you get what you pay for. I haven't tried them. I have no tangible proof of what I'm about to say here, so take this as you will. This at 130 bucks instantly worked. I've tried it, I've tested it, and it's true. The $30 ones, I can't see that being any more effective than putting on a normal sheet inside your sleeping bag, which will add some. But this actually has a thinsulate. It has an insulation to it. It has a value to it that actually retracts your heat or holds your heat in and lets moisture wick through, and this really worked. So if you need that, if you're going on an extreme trip at extremely cold temperatures, or your sleeping bag's not up to snuff for what you're about to do, get one. They're fantastic, they're expensive, but they should last you a lifetime, and they really give you that peace of mind. So that's it for that one. And you know, again, this is not all of my gear I have. This is just a selection I've chosen to do in front of winter camping. When I go winter camping, I'm going to be doing gear reviews on my Thermarest pad, on my stove, on my new camp tables I got, on the food. I'm going to do a whole series on food that you cannot eat boil in a bag for 9 days straight. You'll go crazy, or at least I can't. I'll be doing a review on the 2 tents that I have. And their uses, as well as you know, many other pieces of gear that I have. So this is leading up to winter camping, and you know, I really hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.